Welcome, Arisen. We pawns have long awaited your arrival.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at a long-awaited sequel that all RPG fans have been hungering for. Now the game is Dragons Dogma 2. It's coming out on March 22nd of this year for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC. And it's developed and published by CAPCOM. Now, Dragons Dogma came about back in 2012 for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Now later, an enhanced version called Arisen was released for the PC, the PS4, the Xbox One, and much later for the Nintendo Switch as well. Now the original game was praised for its gameplay, which in my opinion was pretty phenomenal. Now at the time of this game's release, Capcom wasn't really known for creating such a game as this. However, the development team really wanted to create a unique RPG similar to Elder Scrolls Skyrim, but also have Capcom's action flair as well. Dragons Dogma and Arisen did have quite the competition at the time, with games such as Skyrim, The Witcher 3, and Dark Souls vying for our time in the RPG genre, but this game had some elements of its own that really set it apart. Now in 2020, IGN even hailed Arisen as one of the best role-playing games at the time. Now with March quickly approaching, the hype for Dragons Dogma 2 has been through the roof, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. Now on to some of the details of the game for those that may be new to the series. Dragons Dogma is a single-player adventure and is classified as a narrative action RPG. Now we start off the game by creating our Arisen, which is a hero marked by a dragon who we must later defeat. Now during our character creation we can customize our Arisen, and this customization can be done in great detail. And not only can we customize our Arisen, we'll also be able to customize our main pawn as well. Now speaking of the pawns, as they are known in the game, are simply NPC companions that aid the Arisen in many different ways and make the journey not quite feel so lonely. Now as with most RPG games, we will encounter many different folk about the world that will offer quests or ask us for a favor. And we will of course have a main storyline, but we can always gain additional quests by talking to people around the world. Now Dragons Dogma doesn't force players to necessarily do these quests, as we are free to enjoy the journey and explore the world however we wish. Now speaking of the world, we will have plenty to explore in this game with a massive, deeply detailed fantasy world to unearth, which is said to be 4 times larger than the first game. And we will be able to explore the kingdom of humanity, the nation of the Beastren, and the secluded home of the elves. Fast travel will also be available through the use of ox carts and fairy stones to help navigate the world. Now we may be safe inside the towns, but outside the borders of the towns will also be monsters of all shapes and sizes. Now throughout our journey we will encounter enemies such as minotaurs, wits, headless swordsmen, towering giants, goblins, griffins, and so much more. And we must also be careful of the day-night cycle in the game that impacts how creatures encounter our party. Now to slay these enemies we must be adept at certain weaponry or magics, or a combination of both. The game offers us vocations which are important to overcome our enemies while also allowing the adventure to fit your playstyle. Now some vocations are only available to the Arisen, such as the Trickster, which creates illusions to deceive enemies, the Mystic Spearhand, which combines melee and magic for a balanced attack, the Magic Archer, which excels at ranged combat and supporting allies, or finally the Warfare, which can use pretty much every weapon type but must learn to use them to respond to the situation at hand. Now aside from these vocations, which again are only for the Arisen, your pawns can have a mix of fighters, archers, thieves, mages, warriors, or sorcerers, each offering their own set of benefits to the party. Now, there will also be vocation masters throughout the world that will aid you in reaching the highest order of your vocation. Now, Dragons Dogma 2 has been on my radar for quite some time, and I fully expect the dev team will introduce more improvements to the overall gameplay mechanics, as well as of course taking advantage of new hardware technology for an updated look and feel. Now I'm also looking forward to the emergent events that can occur during the game that will force players to adapt to those changes. So March 22nd cannot get here quick enough, as Dragons Dogma 2 looks to be yet another great RPG coming to the genre.